Wada, and today I'm going to show you how I made a classic Brazilian savory dish which is called in Portuguese Coxinha. This is a very popular back home in Brazil. You can find it pretty much on every bakery, every birthday party you will find them. So I'm going to show you how I made them. Let's get started. Cover the chicken breasts with boiling water. As soon as they are cooked, take them out of the boiling water, but keep that water for later. The easiest way that I find to do this part is holding the breast with one fork and shred it with the other, just like that. But if you have a food processor, you can use that as well. Or you can do it by hand, but it will be quite hot. Add a tablespoon of olive oil and fry the garlic and the onion together. Add the shredded chicken and add tomato sauce or tomato paste until it gets to the consistency that you like. That chicken water that you've been reserving, you're going to need 2 cups of that. I have also added some parsley, but this is completely optional. Over medium heat, add 2 cups of chicken stock, or you can use plain water. If you're using that chicken water or just plain water, I'm adding 2 cubes of chicken stock. I'm adding 100 grams of butter, and I have also added salt to taste. When the butter have melted, add 1.5 cups of plain flour. I've also sifted the flour so I get less lumps, and you should add 1/2 cup at the time. It will also be really useful if you have a whisk, because whisking prevents having pockets of flour in your batter. Another tip is that when you finish adding the flour, you should switch the whisk for a spatula, and that will help as well to keep the mixture smooth and keep the heat on and keep cooking the flour for about a couple of minutes. Transfer that to a bench top and start kneading it with the spatula until the mixture is cool enough for you to handle it. And the reason that you do that is that if you leave it to cool on its own, the dough will get a hard crust around it, and then the mixture will get lumpy. When you're not using the dough, cover it with cling film. This keeps the dough fresh and it won't dry out so fast. And now it's time to put them together. To make them about the same size, I'm using a tablespoonful of dough, and to get that classic Brazilian look like chicken drumsticks, I'm showing you how I do it, but it is easier if you just make it round if you like. Try not to put too much filling inside because it will be harder to close it. But if you end up putting too much, you might get holes on the outside, like I normally do on my ones. I like a generous amount of filling. But if that happens, you can patch the outside with a little bit more dough. And just like any good old croquette, you roll them on plain flour, eggs and breadcrumbs. The temperature of the oil for frying should be around 180 degrees Celsius, but another way to find out if the oil is ready is with a wooden skewer. When the bubble starts to appear around it, that means the oil is ready for frying. To start with, I normally put 1 at the time, and then I check how long it takes to cook. Pretty much everything is cooked already, so you just want it to be heated. And if you find that they're getting dark too quickly, it's because the oil is too hot, so lower the temperature a little bit. And then I put maximum 3 or 4 at the time, otherwise the oil will cool down and then they will take too long to cook.